Hi everyone, welcome to the classroom again. I'm Laura Nouns, and I'm real excited today to be able to share with you one of my very favorite quote blocks called the Sawtooth Star. The star here has units in it that we refer to as flying geese. This is it right here, and I'm just going to move it around so you can see that there are 4 of these flying geese units in each one of the blocks. There's lots of ways to make these flying geese units, but I'm going to show you one that's been real popular. You start with 1 square that will be used for the background and 4 smaller squares that will be your star points. Always remember to refer to the PDF because that will give you the exact measurements for cutting. Notice that I have marked a diagonal line on the wrong side of each of the smaller squares. And this is how it works. So you take the small squares and place them so you have right sides together. So the background fabric is right side facing up, the small squares right side facing down. Make sure that your edges are nice and even all the way around. You don't want anything sticking out. And then go ahead and pin these so they're nice and secure. You don't want anything slipping because this is, it's always the details that help with the success of your block. All right? And since you're making 4 of these, you can prepare all 4 of them and then chain them right through the sewing machine. So I've got one over here that you're going to stitch on both sides. So both sides of that marked line 1/4 of an inch away. So you can stitch all the way down, all 4, and then turn around and come 1/4 of an inch on the other side. Again, I've used black thread just to help clarify the stitching lines for you. And then once you stitch these, cut the chain of thread joining the units, and then use your rotary cutter and your ruler to cut exactly on that diagonal line. So now you have 2 units. Let's go back over to the pressing board. Remember, always flat. Flat, flat on the wrong side. Helps to set those stitches. It will just allow you to get a much sharper crease on the right side. Okay? Like this and like this. Okay? All the way down. And let's do the same thing over here. One more. Okay? Flat and over the stitching line. Nice and sharp. Now remember, we have 2 remaining small squares that have their diagonal lines marked on them already. Place those onto the units, just like this. Okay. And you're going to repeat the process by stitching 1/4 of an inch away from your marked line on both sides. So I've got one over here, just like this. Okay. And let's go ahead and take the pins out. Take the ruler and the cutter. And let me just point something out here for you, because this is real important. Whenever you're working with triangles, there always seems to be a question as to where to start and where to stop. I want you to look closely here and see where this stitching line begins. It's exactly at the corner where these 2 meet. So right here is where it should start, and right here is where it should end. Back over to the pressing board. Flat on the wrong side, turn and press on the right side. And you really want to do a pressing here, not the ironing motion, because otherwise you're going to distort this whole unit. Okay, let's put this right up here like this. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to take my ruler, and here's another one of those checkpoints. I want this unit to measure 2 by 3.5. So half of the 3.5 inch width is 1 3/4. So if I place that 1 3/4 inch marking on my ruler right over, I shouldn't say over, I should say right into that point, and then I'm going to turn it around and cut it in this direction. And if there's anything sticking out, I want you to cut it off. Alright? Alright, see how I've got here? Some of you may be using other rulers, and that's perfectly fine. You can do the same thing with this one. I'm working at 3.5